Search and Destroy had some amazing moments, Cell as well. Like, what's it like to kind of have a team this year? Not that you haven't had a roster like this before, but just in general, a team that can kind of, at the drop of a dime, despite being up 4-0 in terms of overall series, what's it like to have a roster that can just turn things around the way that you guys did today?
It's an amazing feeling having a team like this that's able to, be able to get fought back with a tough opponent and be able to actually, make adjustments and make sure we're fixing the right stuff on the fly. I think a lot of these teams, not a lot of these teams, but some teams I feel like, they don't really have that in-game adjustment kind of mindset with each other, or maybe not all of them. So for all four of us to be able to kind of like talk to each other and understand what we need to fix up right in the moment is something that I feel like helps us win a lot of our maps.
I know there's a lot of people in the CDL who don't really know a ton about Paris Legion, right? They don't really know a lot about this roster. Maybe even a few of the players, maybe like, who's Fire, for example? Who are a few of these guys? But what did you make of the Legion's performance, the way that they played you guys in the hard point? I mean, I know you guys obviously finished 5-0, but without a doubt, one of your most difficult series, if not your most difficult. What did you really make of their performance versus you guys today?
I mean, I think Paris in itself right now is one of the more solid. But I think Paris is just, I think that they have negative connotation from last year. I feel like a lot of people kind of expected them to kind of just be bad going to this year. But it's not something that you can really do. A lot of these teams are going to be super close. It went to 5v5, 4v4, less players. So everyone on the team is going to be, on the top caliber. So Paris is just, they're pretty good, man.
They are. We got to say one last thing. Production told me to tell you, I love your backdrops. I mean, just the set that you guys have is absolutely excellent. You guys got your names at the top of them. Aesthetics are always on point. Well, Simp, it's always a pleasure, folks. It definitely is, man. Well, that was our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Simp, congrats again to you and the team on the win and the 5-0, right?
Yep.
All right, folks.
On to the major.
5-0 indeed. On to the major we go. Couldn't have said it better myself. But ladies and gentlemen, what a great start to the day, right? What a great start to Super Week. In regards to the current matchups that we've got going down. But when we come back, we've got Minnesota ROKKR taking on the London Royal Ravens. You do not want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment.
Magic. Oh, I'm so in.
I run out of food, right? And all of a sudden, huge explosion, and then it's like, no! And there's some cold chaos and it's shitty. I was going, no!
Download now.
Point. Capture
Now
the
it's
objective.
finally time for our Game Fuel marquee matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It is time for Minnesota ROKKR to take on the London Royal Ravens. My name is Miles Ross, and I'm the one on the left-hand side of the screen. The gentleman on the right is Chance, and we are ready to get into this fantastic series, because let's face it, here in the Call of Duty League, anything that can happen probably will happen. Very, very keen to see how this one goes down. Chance, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. As far as I'm concerned, the first match we had today is going to set the tone. I'm expecting nothing but bangers from here on out.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have a quick look now at our Game Fuel featured player. That is going to be Attach of the Minnesota Rocker. A fan favorite and a household name in the Call of Duty world for the longest of times. We've lost as well, but he will be one of the players we will be taking a very particular look at throughout the day. Charles, what can you give us as a high-level overview of Attach as a player?
I mean, he's just one of those guys. It's fun to watch him work. Like, again, anytime you need someone to clutch up and search and destroy, if he's the last one alive on the map, you never feel like the round is over. He's just a player that occasionally can produce absolute magic. Of course, in Respawn's about as consistent as you could really ask for over the years. He might not be the guy that's always bringing down the house, dropping bombs left and right. He will always be the guy that is close to making the right play. That has to be one of the best guys to team with in the league.
Very respectable numbers thus far in the season, but again, that doesn't quite translate to the important in-game magic the man Attach brings. Again, he's been around the block a few times. World champ. Big old ring on one of those fingers, and he is rip-roaring ready to get into today's game. Will he turn and burn, etc., etc.? You know who you are, and believe me, I hope you're listening. Chance, this series could be a close one, because again, on the other side of the board, we're going to be talking about our Ravens actually first and foremost. You know what? We've got a bit of assessment to do, a bit of analysis to do, excuse me. Let's just get this out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, put them wings together. The London Royal Ravens.
Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Once he gets up top, apparently he has no intention of slowing down.
Alex over the angles once again. Ravens wins a big one from across the pond.
The London Royal Ravens, sorry I got a bit ahead of myself there, as Alex, Dylan, Shawnee and Parasite are starting to bring it all together. It's got a very entertaining series from yesterday, and again, day by day, the squad just keeps looking better. There's more and more things to look for here as Royal Ravens fans. Heartache at times, but you're sort of used to that, especially if you're an English sports fan. Dylan, though, he's got a little bit of pace to work on here today, Chance. We'll touch on that a little bit later in the Game Fuel keys to victory, but there's a little bit of love for London.
I mean, a little bit of love. You are much kinder than I am, and I'm thinking about a team who has not won a single search and destroy, which is obviously unexacceptable, right? Any team that has just an incredibly weak game mode is always going to suffer. Is always going to the same side of that coin. Minnesota is the same way with our hard-point game, so there are clear indications of what each team really needs to focus on. Obviously, for London, search and destroy.
Glad you brought up the Rocket, Chance, because we'll be introducing them next. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Put your hands together for the Minnesota Rocker.
Hardpoint lost. We are falling behind. Turn the tide. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint contested.
Minnesota Rocker, a very mixed bag of results right now so far in the season, but nonetheless a formidable roster that you really can't give too much space. I'm still certainly walk away with it, but give me a bit of a lowdown on Rocker's current performance so far.
We've lost
Well,
the
I
hard
think
point.
overall the team we're looking at is one of the best
Hard point
S&D teams in the
identified.
league. They're
Hard
tied
point
for
is
the best
secure.
record overall at 4-1.
Artillery targeting
However,
detected.
the worst hardpoint team in the league with a record of
Contesting hard
1-5. This map one
Artillery inbound.
incredibly important for these guys to set the tone and try to take advantage of a London right now sitting at the bottom of the standings. We're looking towards next week once that tournament gets going. Seed's already been locked up for the Ravens. They are locked into that 6th spot. There's no hope for them to when it comes to seeding. Obviously, we've started getting some wins long term. Minnesota, though, in that sweet spot, they are neck and neck right now with the Subliners because they do not have that
We've lost the
tiebreak.
hard
They need
point.
to win. They need a couple other teams to lose.
Well, you don't want to be leaving your fate of destiny in those groups up to other teams. But as we stand, saw the maps and modes, got a bit of a raid hard point to start things off here in game number 1. And this should be a very fun one indeed. Royal Ravens fans across the planet will be rubbing their hands in anticipation of getting Rocker on a hard point. But can Rocker turn this around, start to improve upon what you call chance? They're all 1-5. Not
identified.
the most ideal record so far. We're going to kick this one off with our boy Accuracy, who is big fan of Accuracy. I must admit, on a personal and professional level, I think he's a cool bloke. See how we can bring it here on Raid.
Cruise missile inbound.
Absolutely agreed. And I think this year so
Hard
far,
point is
he's had a very respectable performance in the respawn, and the search and destroy has been fantastic. But they obviously need more hard point. We're trying to get the ball rolling. The opening break just trying to fix itself out. And actually, Dylan starting off with the XM4, he was able to pick up all 3.
Artillery
Flip side,
targeting
another
detected.
player to talk about. That is the start this young man needs.
Net call.
We touched upon
Incoming
Dylan's
artillery.
pacing being an issue at the moment, and he seems to fall out of sync with his boys at times, maybe pushing too fast or too slow. If he can get right in the swing of things, Dylan is a force to be reckoned with. Parasite top the hard point, the test comes through. A nice win there for Parasite to keep his team on the
Hard
point.
point
The
contested.
Ravens continue to flock as the Rocker seem to be banging their heads right now against one another, but it's Attach. It's our Game Fuel feature player. That's why we call him out. He
Hard
comes in from
point
behind, a nice
identified.
two-piece, an immediate flank, an opening now to be had. It's
Hard
going to
point
fall to
locked down.
Dylan. With that, though, the Ravens will continue to hold chance.
And this is the perfect start, right? We even saw Attach come in and pick up 2, but that's just opening the door for the test to actually come through. No one else from the side of Minnesota is able to win a gunfight. More importantly, no one's trying to go for those spawns. Attach right now has 1 teammate to work with, but of course, do not have those
Hardpoint is
close spawns
secure.
for the moment. The kill in the back, though, they get the break. The other 2 players for Ravens spawn out at ring. Rocker, you talk about it, Attach leading that charge.
Yeah, Attach, our Game Fuel featured player here. We're going to stay on board with him for a while. Lovely work now. And from this position, we call it money because of the large stacks of cash nearby. But great position to be in there, watching over those players coming through the pool side of the map. Nice nade coming through. Now he's got a fight ahead of him. Here comes the slide out into the first. Parasite's going to lay him down. Those shots pin him down. Bleeding. Parasite with a big kill. Still on board with Attach though throughout this next flight on spawn. We'll see what he does now that all of his teammates are down. Bar the absolute heroics of Major
Hostiles
Maniac
have
there,
captured the
staying
hard
alive in
point.
point.
And Attach is actually going to be going on for the late flank. You got Accuracy that's trying to work his way towards the Lambo to cut off Renew, and Attach, well, instead of going for the flank, he wanted to cut off those players on rotation. Fortunately for him, quite a few had
Hardpoint is
already
secure.
gotten by, and that makes the chase job just a little bit tougher, but once he spawns back up, now he needs to be patient and wait for those. If he just gone everyone himself, it's that first kill over towards driveway. You can
We've
see the
lost
map
the hard
spread
point.
right now, the approach from Minnesota, everyone trying to cut through this right side of the map.
This is Rocker on the break. Major Maniac coming in through yellow car. We've got a couple of players on the right side of the gym. Attach, Priest, they find their kills from the gym side. They're putting in the work. They definitely lift, bro. Nades up over the top. It's going to fall to Shawnee now, the last player left here out by the AC units. And Accuracy is going to give it to him point blank with the XM4 there. So a wonderful break there from Rocket Chance. You can see that from an entirely different perspective. Lovely bit of work. A solid 30 seconds remaining on the hard point. Ravens will still be lining up for a
Hardpoint
shot
locked
here.
down.
It's a 2-1 split. Here comes the pinch. Parasite's going to get the timing there.
Hardpoint
Wonderfully. Accuracy
identified.
lives. Oh,
We've lost the hardpoint.
Close, but no cigar. As Ravens will get the final 15 after another break. Minnesota already on the rotation.
You got Dylan right now, trapped by himself in money he gets dealt with. He was potentially trying to make a hero play for the team, and Minnesota poised up at least on that rotation. Which the setup they're working with right now isn't too extreme.
Stand by for
Priest gets cut
reassignment.
down. They have the back on lock. You got
just
2
got
players
handed our
responsible
asses.
for looking at the garden / kitchen push. Well, Accuracy, they're going for the spread. They got all 4 players. This is when they make their break.
Oh, here we go. Minnesota Rocket. They've got the hard point control for now. Trying to make the break. It's going to be Alex from behind. Rocker still on the defense. Let's go for a very quick Astro Gaming listen in with Minnesota Rocker.
can help Kitch. One more Kitch. Dylan hurt. He's hurt. Oh, Tiki, Shawnee. Dylan dead. Tiki and Hill. He's out of Tiki, I think. I spawned water.
Looking for him back CTF. They spawned back CTF.
Tiki dead.
One's an L.
Nice, good shit.
Jump on 20.
Gonna get mid.
Alex hurt.
In money. Nice. They could go ring. I'm trying to hold this.
Yeah, they could be hitting Dylan. Hitting it out. Okay.
Dylan dead. Almost shot.
Good job. They could be ring now. Yeah, definitely could be ring.
I'll try to Hill. Don't.
I'm gonna try to get your ring. I'll try to get your ring. I'm back it up. Yeah, play ring deep. Nade and Kitch.
I can help you left side too if you need.
Yeah, I'll stand help Preston.
I'll see him out.
One's L on me, guys.
Okay,
Outer ring, our side ring, our two ring.
I have help.
Help.
That's right. Oh, he's on you. Close heart. Good shit.
I have your left. I have full.
Left in you. I have your help.
Staying down. I have my outer. There's two here, two on us.
Yeah, I have help. Outer, one shot.
One shot.
He's outer, one shot. There's two on his ring.
My head.
Top laundry, one dead. Top, nice. I'm gonna push up like push up.
I think we're garage.
I have back laundry. Yeah, back to you. Three and four on me.
I might have got a split.
I need help.
I have over you.
Look at my outer.
I'm going top. I have your outer shot. Outer.
Fantastic comms there from Rocker. Priester, oh my god, I can't even finish the point. He somehow slipped in there. Dealt the damage, not quite enough to get the kills there, but Chance, very conversational comms, like back and forth between Rocker. I mean, they seem like they're in control.
Oh, everything was super clean, man. I think accuracy was the one we heard started off of like, hey, I spawned up. I'm going to pick up this for you guys. What's open? Major Maniac was like, oh, it's ring. I got that. I got the AR. And more importantly, the communication after that, Major Maniac spots two players over towards ring. He's calling out to his teammates for help, and he's being patient and buying them time. It's clean, efficient teamwork. That is as good as it gets. At least so far, resulted in about a 60-point lead, of course, on ring. The Ravens, you see they've swarmed on the hill, get that final kill out of that hill. Dylan with that time control. Ravens working on the comeback.
Yeah, Ravens, we saw them do a great job in the initial hold of ring. There's 30 seconds remaining. It could well go their way. A nice win from Priester there, just to try to keep the point clear. It's a quick contest. Accuracy now on the flank, dealing the damage. Wonderful work. 20 seconds now remaining. Look towards the next set of hard points. Rotation's already underway. My, Rocker with a wonderful start so far, but you can't count the Ravens yet out of this one because we've seen some wild comebacks so far. Priester with a nice bit of a two-piece there. Parasite now coming through. Shawnee and Priester bringing the XM4s up close range. Nice nade in the money, finds a bit of a tag, but not enough for the kill. Trade's not even there for it. Big bit of work once again for Rocker to retake the kitchen. They've cleaned house, they've cleaned the pots and pans, and now they're just admiring the stacks of cash. Big work as our Game Fuel featured player attached back on screen. Rocker looking across over the 200-point mark.
This is just hyper aggression from Ravens, by the way, just to bully themselves in the kitchen. They got two players still stacked up in and around the point. Rocker, frankly, not able to get too much of a clearance. Major Maniac, though, able to pick up two, attached there for the final one. And now Ravens, they got a decision. They want to fight for these final 30 seconds. Or do they try to rotate? See Attach's game plan right now, just cutting off the middle of the map. And frankly, he's got the opening just to go for the rotation if he wants it. Shoots the two players in the back, and he is gone. Going over the ring to try to find these players when they spawn. All of his teammates get near him. They know they spawn in the back, and now you get set up and be that cutoff man, lockdown garage. Because frankly, if you get the lockdown on this hill, they win the game.
That's our Game Fuel featured player attach. This could be a game-winning play. Currently on a 3 spree. New hard points up. He's got two positions to watch. The driveway and the players coming out of the art room. There's the first. It's a viewing, and he's going to get two. That could have been a third, but Shawnee too quick on the trigger. 5 in a row before going down for attach there. Our Game Fuel featured player, and what a champion it was. Ravens now. They've got to make a clean break now because it's starting to get a little bit dire. As Rocker close in on the victory here, they've got to make the push sooner rather than later. Parasite around the outside now, an opportunity to maybe find some good timing here. There's the first. Parasite in at the right time. The shots on the second. Dylan's now going to make his way forward as well. The quick cleanup. 30 seconds remaining for them, and they could hold this. If Parasite can keep this run going and push these players out, Priester will hold it.
Well, one break is good, but you're going to need a second, right? Of course, that rotation over towards basketball. Another hill you can lock down for a full 60. And Rocker only need 11. The issue is no players can die at this point, right? Because actually the two players coming off ring might be a little bit late to the rotation, or for Alex, might just get shot in the back. His accuracy flanks through pillars. Either way, you got Major Maniac posted up in deep basketball. One gunfight for him to win, and he secures the game, and it's right here with Parasite.
Oh, there it was. He didn't even need to do it. Accuracy was there to get the kill for him. You got to go, boys. Major Maniac's just sitting there shooting hoops all by his lonesome, no problem whatsoever. Rocker, he will take map 1 quite convincingly.
About to say, a fairly easy win. And honestly, man, the timing of the Astro Gaming listening, about as perfect as it could get, because that's when they really started to take over in the lead. And again, those comms were completely on point. Because again, accuracy coming off spawn, being like, here's the part of the map I got. 2 players in the hill are like, well, what's open right now? It's ringside. Major Maniac immediately goes, I got the AR, I'll come pick it up. And again, just the teamwork after that and the communication they had to identify, hey, 2 players over towards ring right now. Priest goes and help Major Maniac. And even towards the end, they're trying to figure out where the players are spawning. Accuracy dishes out like 2 or 3 options for the team when they're trying to figure it out. I think it was either Tatch, I believe, or maybe Priest that was in Laundry that spots him. He's like, nope, all 4 players are here. It's perfectly efficient work. You could not ask for anything more from all 4 of the players on the map. Just good work for map 1. Exactly what they needed.
Could not have been better for them. I mean, Ravens, the greatest opportunity they had to take this series by storm was by winning the respawns. And if we were already seeing coming out of Rocker is a much more clinical game, they're way more in control of those respawn modes. Let's see if they can keep it up. But that's the stats on screen there, friends, from that first hardpoint raid. Map number 1 flew by relatively fast. I mean, all things considered, this could be a slightly different series to the one we just saw before us, but who knows? Here in Codley, anything can and most likely will happen. Things are pretty nutty. But that's that. Map 1 done and dusted. When we come back after the break, we're going to Moscow for a search and destroy. Can London steal one of the finer game types that Rocker have? Or not? Who knows? Codley, anything can happen. Your guess is quite literally as good as any of ours. We'll see you after the break.